organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV.
One U.S. official made a special appearance at the main library to show appreciation to veterans today. Find out who next.
And see how one local workplace is striving to make the Forbes list.
And in sports,
Kirk Ferentz tells us how the Iowa football team is going to adjust come Saturday.
All that and more is coming your way. Daily Iowan TV starts now. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Hannah Hawks.
And I'm Austin Luce.
November 11th is a date that holds near and dear to some of America's bravest citizens. Veterans Day celebrations occurred across the country today, and we sent Nick Fisher out to see how America's bravest are being honored here at the UI.
Veterans Day is a day to honor those who have served, commend those who have fought for our freedom, and remember those who have lost their lives defending our country. And here at the University of Iowa, veterans are encouraging everyone to help celebrate this special day.
I think it's just a good day to get together and celebrate service members and in general what everyone's done for our country and for our freedom.
And the UI did just that by hosting events across campus to honor those who have so bravely defended our country, including a flag-raising ceremony that featured a bugler and an appearance by President Sally Mason.
To our veterans, let me say once again how proud we are to have you here, how honored we are to have you served our country, and thank you for all you continue to do.
Mason spoke in front of a crowd that consisted of active servicemen, veterans, and ROTC members. The crowd gathered in front of the old Capitol overlooking a large I made of American flags. Each and every one of the more than 4,000 flags seen around me is dedicated to a serviceman who lost their life in the line of battle. And for us to remember those who sacrificed their lives for this country is something veterans cannot stress enough.
The biggest thing for me and for everybody else is to remember the people that aren't here to celebrate it, the people who never came home, because that's what it's really all about, is remembering their sacrifices that they made for us.
And for some, like Second Lieutenant Joseph Matson, Veterans Day is a chance to honor family members who have also fought for this country.
I'm actually the fourth generation in my family to serve. My great-grandfather, grandfather, and father all served in the military. So today just shows how much the university cares and how much this country cares about its veterans.
And the university's care shows, as it was rated one of the 10 best colleges for veterans in 2014. Nick Fisher, Daily Iowan TV.
Today, national and local officials met to discuss how they can improve care for veterans at UI's VA hospital. Iowa Congressman Dave Loebsack opened the event at the main library. He was enthusiastic for the future of medicine for Iowa veterans.
Relatively speaking, the health care that our veterans get in Iowa is pretty darn good. Does it mean it can't be better? Of course it doesn't mean that. It can be better.
A doctor from Iowa City's VA hospital also spoke about how veteran care should continually strive to be safe, efficient, and patient-centered. Afterwards, a panel of veterans shared their experience with VA healthcare.
Two unnamed officials from the Iowa City Police Department were injured in an accidental shooting late yesterday night. While cleaning their service weapons, one officer accidentally fired a shot at himself and the officer with him. The two officers were sent to the UIHC and were later released. The department is currently investigating the incident. The Iowa City Police Department was unable to comment on the status of the employees in the investigation as of Tuesday afternoon.
After 20 years of service, the UI Director of Public Safety is retiring at the beginning of next year. January 9th of this year will mark his 20th year as Director of Public Safety and his 39th year of public service. UI Senior Vice President Doug True said, "The university community has benefited for 20 years from Chuck's leadership, fairness, and calmness under pressure, no matter the situation." Associate Director of the UI Public Safety Department, Dave Visson, will fill Green's role temporarily until a permanent replacement is found. And still to come on Daily Iowan TV, one New York City woman recently brought attention to the issue of catcalling with a video that went viral. But does this same issue impact students on campus?
And in sports, see what Iowa team is turning things around this season.
Speaking of seasons turning around, Hannah, I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt yesterday, and today that was not so much the case.
Absolutely. It feels like winter is arriving a little early in Iowa City this year. Taylor, what are the temps going to be like this week?
Hannah, temps are looking pretty cold. While today we experienced some snow for Veterans Day, this week won't see much more. But those cold temperatures won't be going away anytime soon. Tomorrow morning, you can expect temperatures to be in the lower 20s with partly cloudy skies. Going into the afternoon, temperatures will rise to the low 30s with clear skies. Falling into the evening, temperatures will drop to the lower 20s. But make sure to cover up because winds will be rolling in at 10 miles per hour. On Thursday, you can expect a high of 32 degrees with a low of 17 degrees with partly cloudy skies. For the remainder of your week, temperatures will be in the upper 20s and 30s, but we are fully rid of the snow. On Saturday, there's a 70% chance we'll see some snow showers. Overall, it looks like winter is coming early this year. Well, that's all I have for you this week. Be sure to stay tuned to Daily Iowan TV for your 7-day forecast. Back to you at the news desk.
The UI is taking steps to help veterans adjust to university. Mentors will help veteran students transferring from military to college life in a new program that UI is creating called PAVE, or Peer Advisors for Veteran Education. Michael Hall, the Iowa Consortium for Veterans Excellence Director, said, student veterans come in as non-traditional students. They're older, married, some of them have children, and many of them live off campus, so it's harder for them to establish friends and gain the college experience. PAVE will help students achieve academically. It is currently operating in several campuses across the country.
A video of a woman walking for 10 hours in New York City raised some global awareness after she received over 100 harassing comments. Daily Iowan TV's Taylor Smith explored how this same type of behavior impacts students on campus.
Catcalling. This is any form of unwelcome interaction, language, or behavior between two individuals in a public space that is considered threatening or harassing. Violence Prevention Program Coordinator Megan Score said this behavior could be expressed in many ways on campus.
That can be things from people yelling out like, hey baby, hey, how's your day going, how are you, to inappropriate gestures, leering, following. We've also, there's also lots about there about blocking individuals' pathways when they're walking around. All of those things would fall into street harassment.
The video, which was posted to YouTube last Tuesday, has made headlines. The social experiment counted over 100 instances of verbal street harassment and involved people of all backgrounds. Many University of Iowa students say they've seen or experienced similar instances on campus.
Yes, I have been catcalled at. How did this make me feel? I definitely wasn't uplifted.
I find it extremely disrespectful and degrading. I think there definitely does need to be a change.
I don't really know why people start to do it. I mean, I guess media is to blame, but me personally, no. I don't do it. I think it's disrespectful.
But how can our campus make a change?
Call out the behavior, say that's street harassment, loudly state to other people what's going on. Did anyone else just hear that? That was so rude. You can share your story if you don't feel comfortable in the moment doing something.
Score also said you can make a complaint or contact the University Police Department. Reporting from downtown Iowa City, Taylor Smith, Daily Iowan TV.
Hannah, it's been 6 years since the Hawkeyes have taken on the Illini, but the border state rivalry is still alive and well.
That's right, Austin. Let's toss it over to Danny Payne and Taylor Brooks standing by in the sports studio to hear what the football team had to say about their upcoming game.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio. Before we get things started, A+ jacket, Austin. I'm Danny Payne, standing alongside Taylor Brooks.
We'll hear from one Iowa athletic program that is turning things around in just a bit. But first, we've got the latest from a team that went backwards instead of forward.
That's right, the Iowa football team took a major beating on Saturday, falling to Minnesota 51-14. The Gophers forced 3 Hawkeye turnovers and a blocked punt to ultimately put up 35 unanswered points in the first half.
Head coach Kirk Ferentz said today in his press conference, those turnovers in special teams will be the focus this week.
We got to play better on special teams. If nothing else, you got to break even there. But you can't put yourself in the hole. That's hard. And then the other obvious thing is turnovers. It's hard to win Big Ten games if I think we're 0-3.
This loss was a big surprise to Hawkeye fans after the performance Iowa put up against Northwestern just a week prior. but Farron says it may not be as easy as it seems.
How do you explain 2 weeks ago to last week? It's the same question. It just, this isn't a video game. It's not a deal where you just plug plays in or plug things in. Anything involving people. You just look around the country, college, pro, or high school, and it's really hard to predict what's going to happen any week.
The defeat wasn't the only downer for the Hawks, as news broke yesterday that linebacker Travis Perry will be out for the rest of the regular season.
I think, as most of you know, Travis Perry, unfortunately, is going to be out for the rest of the Big Ten schedule, and got an injury. It's going to take at least 4 weeks, I think, to get healed up, 4 or 5 weeks. So it's a tough break for him, certainly, and young guy's really been doing well for us.
Another guy who's been stepping up for the Hawkeyes on the offensive side of the ball, is wide receiver Tavon Smith.
Football reporter Chelsea Brown caught up with the junior to see how Iowa can improve their passing game come Saturday.
Thanks, guys. And I'm here standing next to wide receiver Tavon Smith. Now, Tavon, I know you guys don't want to bring up the Minnesota game, but Jake Rudock only 10 for 19 in pass efficiency, and you grabbing 3 of those for 38 yards. The run game obviously wasn't going anywhere, and passing still not producing what you guys wanted. What did you see that kind of went wrong during that game?
We just weren't executing anything on offense. Our runs weren't doing what we expected, and it was windy that day, and I guess it was pretty hard to. The coach thought that it was pretty hard to pass the ball, so we had to just trust what we did in practice, but it wasn't enough for Saturday.
Illinois has only won 1 game in Big Ten Conference play, that being against Minnesota, and Iowa 1 and 2 against teams coming off of bye weeks. So coming off this bye week for Illinois and going to Champaign, how do you guys prepare to handle for that?
I feel like it's big for us, especially from a loss from last week. So it's going to be big for us. We got a chip on our shoulder now. Everybody thinks different of us than 2 weeks ago. So it's going to be a little bit of motivation for us.
And then also, Iowa hasn't seen Illinois since 2008. And so this is also your first time seeing this team. Does that kind of add any excitement or any fresh start to this new potentially border state rivalry?
I guess it's a little bit of excitement, but at the end of the day, it's still football. We're just playing football, so I'm excited to play against Illinois. It's a team I've never played before, so it's gonna be fun.
Well, best of luck to you this weekend, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for that, Chelsea.
After struggling in the beginning of the season, the Iowa volleyball program is hitting its stride with a huge win over the number 12 team in the nation, Purdue, on Saturday.
Volleyball reporter Zach Mackey has more.
I have to go way back in the Iowa volleyball record books to see the last time the team has won 4 conference matches in a row. Last week, the Hawks edged Maryland, Rutgers, Indiana, and the number 12 team in the country, Purdue, a feat that has not been done for 20 years. All this under first-year head coach Bon Szymanski.
4 conference wins is a great start to the rest of the season for us. We kind of looked at it in 2 parts. You hit that halfway turn in the Big Ten. You played 10 grueling matches. You're learning more about your opponents as you go, and most importantly, learning more about ourselves.
Our energy is really good, and we've been playing really well as a team lately, and that's exactly where we need to be at this point in the season. So.
It was the first time in 2 years that the Hawks had topped a ranked opponent when they beat Purdue in 4 sets on Saturday.
Really executed the scouting report, and we were playing together as a team, and it's always a really fun when we play together.
Although the Hawks would like to see more fans making it out to Carver Hawkeye Arena, the fans that were there propelled the Hawks to a victory.
We want more people to come out and be a part of it, but the fans that are there are passionate, and I think they're starting to learn and realize how they really can impact the feeling of our team, and more importantly, the feeling of our opponent, that we are gaining a home court advantage that I think Carver has never had before for volleyball.
Zach Mackey, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The squad is currently 13-12 on the year, but have a tough week ahead as they travel to Penn State and try to extend their streak to 5.
Well, that will do it for us here in the sports studio, but be sure to tune in tomorrow as we preview the much-awaited Iowa wrestling season.
Hannah, Austin, back to you guys at the desk.
Well, thanks for that compliment, Danny. I really wish I could say the same thing about your signature beige.
Wait, what about my jacket?
I think it looks a lot better than Danny's.
All right, well, that'll do it for us tonight. I'm Hannah Hawks.
And I'm Austin Luce. Thanks for watching, and have a great night.
Iowa SJMC.
Want a major that'll take you somewhere?